Careful now, they're hot. Here you go, fresh ones. Here you go, little ones. Enjoy your treats.
Give me chutney.
Here you go.
Yay, thank you.
Enjoy, little ones. Fresh samosas, little ones. Here you go. Enjoy and subscribe for more.
When the exploration ship Star Nest 7 quietly entered Earth's orbit, its mission was simple: observe humanity and report back. The crew were not soldiers or scientists alone, they were families. Among them were the tiniest members of their species, the cubs. The cubs of planet Oryx were round, fluffy, and curious beyond measure. Their large shimmering eyes reflected every color they saw, and their tiny paws were always reaching for something new. On Oryx, their favorite treats were glowing nectar fruits and crystal milk foam, but nothing could prepare them for Earth. The landing zone was chosen carefully, a peaceful rural area in Pakistan near golden fields, and a small roadside food stall where the scent of spices floated like music in the air. Commander Viral had one strict order: observe humans quietly. Do not interfere. But he had forgotten one important detail. Cubs do not follow strict orders. The first cub to sneak out of the ship was Lumo. His fur shimmered silver blue as he toddled down the ramp, sniffing the air. His nose twitched. Spicy, warm, crispy, he whispered in awe. Behind him rolled 3 more cubs: Mimi, Taro, and Bibi. Their tiny feet left glowing paw prints on the grass as they followed the smell that danced through the wind. Across the road, an old man named Chacha Kareem was frying fresh pakoras in a large pan of bubbling oil. Beside him, neatly arranged on a tray, were golden samosas, crispy triangles filled with potatoes, peas, and fragrant spices. The cubs froze. Their eyes grew twice their normal size. Food, Mimi breathed. Now, Oryx cubs had sensitive senses. They could taste emotions in food. On their planet, meals were made with calmness and love. When Lumo sniffed the samosas, he felt something surprising: warmth, comfort, care. Without hesitation, Lumo waddled forward. Chacha Kareem nearly dropped his ladle when he saw 4 fluffy glowing creatures staring at his stall. Ya Allah, what are these? He muttered. But before fear could grow, Bibi made a small chirping sound, the Oryx cub greeting. It sounded like a kitten and a wind chime mixed together. Chacha Kareem blinked. They didn't look dangerous. They looked hungry. Very slowly, the old man picked up a small piece of pakora and placed it on a napkin near them. Lumo sniffed it carefully. The cub's whiskers tingled. The spices turmeric, chili, cumin burst across his senses like fireworks. He took a tiny bite, and then his entire body glowed bright gold. Mumprara, he squealed in delight. On Oryx, glowing brighter meant extreme happiness. Mimi quickly grabbed a piece too. The crunch echoed softly. The warm, soft onion filling melted in her mouth. Her eyes watered slightly. Spicy, she gasped. But she didn't stop eating. Taro rolled straight into a samosa, hugging it like treasure. He nibbled from the corner, and when he tasted the potato filling, he froze in shock. It tastes like comfort clouds, he whispered. Back on the ship, alarms began to ring. Commander Viral saw the cubs on the monitor. They've made contact. He panicked. But then, he noticed something strange. The human wasn't attacking. He was smiling. Chacha Kareem watched the tiny creatures eat with such joy that his heart softened. He poured them small cups of cool water and gently placed a whole samosa in front of them. Eat, little guests, he said kindly. And that was the moment everything changed. Oryx technology could analyze emotional energy. The ship detected a massive surge of positive frequency. The cub's happiness was so powerful it resonated through the ship systems. Commander Viral stared at the readings. This human food is stabilizing their energy levels, the science officer said in disbelief. On Oryx, cubs sometimes became restless and over-energetic. But now, as they munched happily on samosas and pakoras, they were calm. Content. Peaceful. Mimi waddled over to Chacha Kareem and gently touched his hand with her tiny paw. In that moment, the commander made a decision. He stepped out of the ship. The villagers gathered slowly, whispering in confusion as the tall alien commander approached the stall. He bowed slightly, a universal sign of peace. "You feed our young," he said in a soft translated voice. "Why?" Chacha Kareem shrugged. "They were hungry." The commander paused. On Oryx, feeding another species without benefit was rare. "You expect nothing in return?" he asked. The old men laughed gently. "Beta, when a child is hungry, you feed them. That is all." The cubs were now sitting in a row, tiny round bellies full, crumbs stuck to their fur. Taro hiccuped softly. The commander looked at them. They had never looked so happy on a mission before. He turned to his crew. "Record this," he ordered. "Humanity expresses strength, not only in power, but in kindness." Word spread quickly across Oryx after the report. Earth was not labeled as potential threat. Instead, it received a new classification: species, protective and nourishing. Trade discussions began soon after. In exchange for advanced clean energy technology, Oryx requested something very specific: recipes. The first official interstellar exchange package from Earth contained spices, potatoes, gram flour, and detailed instructions for making samosas and pakoras. Oryx chefs struggled at first. The folding of samosas proved especially difficult for beings with soft paws, but they learned. Because their cubs demanded it. Soon, Oryx markets were filled with the scent of fried snacks. The cubs proudly told everyone about the day humans shared food without fear. And every year after that, on the anniversary of first contact, Oryx celebrated something new: Samosa Day. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Chacha Kareem never fully understood what had happened. The strange ship had disappeared the same night it arrived. But sometimes, when he fried pakoras in the evening light, he would see 4 tiny glowing paw prints appear near his stall. And he would smile, because somewhere in the stars, small alien cubs still remembered the taste of kindness wrapped in a crispy golden shell. Months had passed since the Oryx cubs first tasted Earth's food. Their ship, Star Nest 7, had returned to their home planet, but the cubs were still aglow with the memories of crisp samosas and soft, fluffy pakoras. Back on Oryx, a world of gleaming cities and advanced technology, something was missing. The cubs knew exactly what it was. They wanted more than just the taste. They wanted to share the feeling it gave them. They wanted to teach their entire planet that Earth's kindness could be tasted, felt, and shared. One morning, the smallest cub, Lumo, bounced into the ship's observation room, his fur shimmering with determination. He approached the ship's leader, Commander Viral. "Command," Lumo chirped. "We have to go back. We must bring more samosas." Viral, a stoic and thoughtful Oryxian, rubbed the back of his head. He was fond of the cubs, but their request was unusual. "Lumo," he said gently, "we can't just steal food from the humans again." The cubs had, on their last impromptu visit, helped themselves to a few unattended snacks. Mimi, another cub, flapped her tiny wings, her excitement making her hover slightly. "They weren't scared. The humans shared with us. We can bring our own humans some happiness too," she squeaked. The commander paused. He looked at their earnest, glowing faces. The cubs' joy was infectious, and their logic surprisingly sound. A mission of cultural exchange, disguised as a snack run. "Very well," he said slowly, a smile creeping onto his face. "We will return to Earth, but this time, we will not just eat. We will learn." The Star Nest 7 descended silently, landing once again in the same golden fields near the familiar roadside stall. The ramp lowered, and the cubs bolted out, their tiny paws leaving soft, glowing prints on the dew-kissed grass. They sniffed the air, their noses twitching like little radar beacons, homing in on the scent of spices and fried dough. Standing by his stall was Chacha Kareem, the kind-faced vendor. He wasn't surprised. In fact, he had been expecting them. He smiled warmly as the tiny, fluffy creatures approached. "I had a feeling you might come again," he said, his voice full of warmth. He held up a basket filled with hot pakoras and golden, triangular samosas. The cubs chirped and squeaked, a symphony of pure delight. But this time, Chacha Kareem continued, his eyes twinkling, I will teach you how to make them too. For the oryx cubs, this was a revelation. On their planet, learning was a sterile process, conducted with holograms and complex simulations. But this was real. The feel of the dough under their soft paws, the fragrant aroma of freshly ground spices, the rhythmic sizzling of oil in the pan. The next few hours were a beautiful mess of fun and delightful chaos. Lumo, ever enthusiastic, tried to fold a samosa into its signature triangle shape, but his paws were too soft, and the delicious potato and pea filling spilled everywhere. Much to his chagrin, Taro, the clumsiest of the group, was tasked with stirring the pakora batter. He stirred with such vigor that he created a small flour storm, causing everyone to sneeze in a cloud of white dust. Meanwhile, Mimi and Babi, the two most observant cubs, watched Chacha Kareem's every move. They carefully mimicked how he folded, filled, and fried, their small faces scrunched in concentration. By the end of their lesson, they had created something truly remarkable: 4 perfectly imperfect samosas and a small mountain of crispy pakoras. The cub's fur glowed brighter than ever before, a brilliant light fueled by happiness and pride. Chacha Kareem laughed, a deep, hearty sound that echoed through the fields. He wiped a bead of sweat from his brow. You see, he told them, cooking is about patience and care, and most importantly, sharing. If you put your heart into the food carries that heart to whoever eats it. Commander Viral watched the scene from the ship's entrance, a silent observer. His advanced scanners could measure atmospheric pressure, radiation levels, and gravitational fields. But they couldn't measure this. They couldn't quantify the warmth, the connection, the pure, unadulterated joy that was unfolding before him. It was a cultural connection forged in flour and friendship. Before they had to leave, Lumo turned to Chacha Kareem, his little voice serious. We will return, he chirped, and we will bring gifts from our planet. And maybe, we can teach your humans about our special nectar fruits. Chacha Kareem nodded, his smile reaching his eyes. I'll be right here, he promised. And next time, maybe you'll show me how to fold a proper samosa. The Starnest 7's ramp closed, and the ship lifted off, leaving the golden fields behind. But it didn't leave the memories. Back on Oryx, the story of the Cubs' cooking session became legendary. Soon, every Oryxian family was trying to replicate Earth food. Their futuristic markets, once filled only with nutrient pastes and synthetic proteins, were now filled with samosas stuffed with local oryx roots, and pakoras spiced with their own glowing herbs. They even held festivals, grand celebrations of the taste of friendship. The Cubs became ambassadors. They taught their people that strength wasn't just in advanced technology or powerful energy shields. True strength was found in kindness, in sharing, and in the joy of discovering something new together. Even Commander Viral, in his official report to the Oryx High Council, had to admit it. He wrote that the humans possessed something his crew's instruments could never measure: the profound warmth of a shared meal. Years passed. The Cubs grew up, but the tradition they started continued to flourish. Earth and Oryx began exchanging recipes, celebrating each other's festivals, and even sending official food ambassadors between their worlds. Small, glowing cubs, who once toddled nervously down a ramp into a golden field, now confidently guided Oryx scientists and chefs on their own culinary journeys to Earth. And somewhere, in a small roadside stall in Pakistan, Chacha Kareem would still smile whenever he fried a batch of pakoras. He would look up at the stars, and sometimes, if the wind was just right, he would swear he could smell the sweet scent of oryx nectar fruits mingling with the cumin and coriander. And in the quiet of the night, he thought he could almost hear the echo of tiny, happy chirps carried on the breeze. The universe, it turned out, had learned a valuable lesson. It learned that no matter how advanced a civilization becomes, the simplest gestures, a warm smile, a shared samosa, a crispy pakora, could be the most powerful force of all, capable of uniting worlds. Thank you so much for watching the story unfold. If you enjoyed this journey of friendship and food, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales from across the universe. We'll see you in the next video.